that they are. But forgetting that the times that we are in Nigeria is different. We are different where we are in Nigeria now is different from 2019. It's different from 2015. There are real high-time security issues. It has been found out that many of these people are not Nigerians. A lot of them migrated from Chad, from Niger, from Sudan, and from all, and they are here. But when I say lack of political willpower, a lot of people are looking at the body language of Mr. President. You agree with me, last year was like a boiling point for Nigeria with separatist, agitations here and there. And then, at the height of that, one of the governors, I don't know whether he's the governor of Jigawa or wherever, or Bauchi, he told us point blank, and it's in video circulated. He said, those people that we call Fulanis or whatever we call them, they have the right, whether they are from Niger, whether they are from Chad, whether they have a right to reside in Nigeria. And
wasn't that right? We had Ghanaians too. We had Liberians who came to live in Nigeria so many years.
Who have valid papers. Many of these people, which paper are these people have? In fact, there was a news last week that between 2020 and 2022, there have been an influx, an entry of about 3 million people who are not Nigerians who are now doing Okada business in Nigeria.
On the road at all?
They should not have been, okay, you are talking about Okada.
Yes.
I'm building these things up. There is real security concern now. We have kidnapping, we have terrorism on the rise. Who are these people doing these things? Many of them were imported from elsewhere. They are not from Nigeria. So we cannot just say, look at the economic, many of the state governments are making money through these people. If you get there, if you ask me, I will tell you, they are making money. There are economic issues there. I'm telling you, the average Okada rider, they pay more tax than a permanent secretary.
But that's also, I think the question Moji is trying to, the point she's trying to make is that in the first instance, if our transportation system or architecture have been top notch, should we really have, in the first instance, motorcycles?
In the first instance, it is a misnomer. It's not supposed to be. For half of a century, more than half of a century have been existing. And we knew how Nigeria was. Like here in Abeokuta, I even also schooled there 40 years ago. We didn't have Okada. It's an aberration, but it's a sad reality of our economic tanks as a nation. Why would we are not in Jakarta, and we are not in, because there are environmental issues, there are safety issues, there are security issues. I've watched a video of somewhere in Jakarta, and you see a horde you see the traffic gridlock. This is not the definition of a city.
But faster.
Faster,
and they take you to the nooks and crannies where the cars can get to.
Can I tell you, madam? If the roads have been good, I tell you, you can pick a cab from OGTV and say, I am going to Okearega.
The inner roads.
The inner, but those inner, we are even talking about major roads. Please don't talk about inner roads. Everywhere in Nigeria, and it looks like even when government does a little, because of the way we have been, we even say, let's celebrate it. Don't let's deceive ourselves. Any government that prioritizes roads, the last administration in Ogun prioritized roads, but go back to those roads. It means that whatever has been done has not been done well. That's number one. Number two is the fact that the costs of many of these roads, you know, a road you are supposed to do for 20 million naira, you roll out, you say you did it for billions. And you now put bridges everywhere. My friend came here recently from, come, we started from Kuto. We have skipped a bridge, overhead bridge, over a flyover. We went to Itoku, and he counted 7. I said, let me shock you. These 7 flyovers were built by a single administration within 4 years. And he said, come, are we in River State? Are we in Bayelsa State? You see, the cost of one flyover, as at the time they did, they go and check, about 3 billion naira. 3 billion naira can do a road from here to Ibadan. Then what are we talking about? So the state of our infrastructure is very bad. That's why I will excuse the current governor, Prince Abeokuta. When he came in, I was even wondering, how is he going to weather the storm? How will he fix all the road in Adaton was done when Amosu was about to leave. Just between Adaton and Car Wash, that road is still the same way, except that one aspect has been tied. The reason for this is that things have been done shabbily. And when you do too many things at a time, and you compounded it with the bridges. We are not talking bridges here, but these are factors.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's talk about the disadvantages of the ban now. Unemployment in the country is already. And with the ban, it will increase.
Well, pitiably, there is opportunity cost. There are decisions to make. You must decide whether you want to build a safe country or whether you want a country filled with miscreants that will be threatening everybody. These are issues. But come to think of it, somebody went to school, he spent 4 or 5 years, he graduated and landed on Okada. Is that the society we want to build? What are we talking about? Those Okada people, many of them are educated. Somebody told me a PhD holder too, because he cannot get a job, he's doing Okada. And somebody will say we are creating jobs. Is that the job we want?
Maybe because the take-home pay is more than collar jobs somehow.
See, don't let anybody deceive you. If you see the hazard, I don't know how to ride a motorbike. I ride a car very well. I don't know how to ride motorbike, but even in the few instances where I ride and they are driving me, can you see the breeze, the hazards, the nausea, and so many things. And this is what they do. See there, you see their nose, you see a lot of them is already turning muddy, brown. See their hair, it's hazardous. Many of them, it shows that they will not be there if the government has done the right thing. We can't continue like that.
Let's go back to this particular decision by Lagos State government. Yeah, I mean, you try to also chronicle efforts of past governors in Lagos State. Fashola at some point actually outlawed anybody carrying a pregnant woman on Okada. He outlawed that. I remember that very, very well. Okay. Somebody came, did his own now, Sawolu. Now, this particular one probably came out of what happened at Lekki when one engineer was actually killed by a group of Okada riders. Well, now, Lagos State government swung into action and said, okay, 6 local governments, because there are some local governments truly where you may not totally be able to ban Okada. Look at local governments in areas like Mushin, you come down to close to Agege and all of that. I mean, you have to look at the features of those who live in those local governments. But maybe these 6 eyebrow local government areas, maybe there's something that Lagos State government is actually thinking, and that must have actually prompted their decision to ban, commercial Okada riding in those local governments.
I thank you for your questions. You first asked me about what my reaction was, and now you are asking, you said government swung into action. Can I shock you? Government did not swing into anything. Government is merely reactive. There's a difference between a reactionary move and a responding move. What the governors should be doing is to respond in a holistic way. What they are doing may not stand. Election is around the corner. It may not stand because an incident happened in Lekki and you are done there, just look at them. Very soon they will supplant. I came from Abuja and I landed at the airport. I had parked my car around Opik in Sherry. So I landed around 6:30 in the evening. I needed to dash back to Abeokuta. And I was looking, what do I do? I looked for, some of these cabs, they say 7,000, some say 8,000. But when I look at the traffic, that I may not get to Bega in Sherry area within a record time, lo and behold, I saw an Okada.
You have to jump on
I jumped on one. He said 3,000. I said, I don't mind. That Okada, just 2 weeks ago, took me to Isheri within 10, 12 minutes. How did you do it? And I was asking the guy. I said, but there's a restriction. He said, no, I'm a military man. I'm a military man. No man can. And he told this car. So that's another area. Because they will not, those military people, those boys, that is also the business. They are pastime during the evenings. They have clothes for work. They have Okada. So they don't use their camouflage. They just use something under their hat. And the way he was maneuvering everywhere within 12 minutes. Well, I got it, but it was a hazardous risk. I don't enter bike like that in Abeokuta. But I did it that day. It confirmed that it can be fast, but it's a road to death. Fast road to death. And I kept the way he was maneuvering and he was saying, just problem. You can't, no matter what you do, other areas will call for attention. But you see, corruption has made our roads done in the past. Many of them, Julius Berger, will not even collect as much.
Now, let's, as we are closing on this interview, let's look at the spin-offs, the ripple effects of these. For someone like me, I get scared. I actually got scared when Lagos State government took that decision, because the next port of call for these guys is likely to be.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what should Ogun State be doing at this point in time?
Ogun State should learn from Lagos and not make any reactionary move. They should be responding. Okay, you want to take these guys off the streets because there will be an influx. Many will come from those other, but these people coming from those other, what is their nationality? Where are they from? Many of these people did not come validly, and they have no, the government, I want them to rescind their decisions on, they say they have rumor. They have, they have unions like that. These unions are feeding facts. The best they can do, what they are saying is that they say they will give them means of identification. How can you give somebody ID card? You don't know where he lives. Many of these people that come from Chad, from Niger, and are posing as Okada riders, meanwhile, they have missions different from the Okada riding. Now, many of them, they're homeless. We are giving them ID card is meaningless. A lot of them came in to Lagos by being under the one J5 bus one day. They put all of them there. More than carried almost 80 people. They can adapt to different kinds of environment. They know us. Sometimes when you see these Okada riders, they don't know where I saw one. I was in the bush. I said, take me to Okearegba. Meanwhile, he has not been to Okearegba before. He said, okay, come in. He didn't charge me, so I went. Then when he said, I said, this place is too far, but I told you where I was going. We have been surrounded. And the security concern is scary. Many of our governors are trying. Akeredolu is through whatever, what do we call this? Amotekun. I want to see our own Amotekun here. To also be ubiquitous. You don't go to those states, you see them everywhere. Maybe the man funded them more. Or maybe the person they gave that assignment knows what to do. This government must be prepared for the influx coming. They are already in Mowe, they are in Nibafo, they are in Songoota, and they are coming towards Ifo, coming to Iwekoro,
even before the ban.
Even before the ban. You know, so, and through Epe, they are coming to Ijebu. You see, so Wole Soyinka said something recently, and it's a food for thought. We cannot, under the federal structure that we are in, we need to do something for our people. Our own safety in Yoruba land is very important. It's key. Whether it is Oyo, they will also spill over to Oyo. They will spill over to Osun. I go, but Ogun, you don't get to Oyo without passing through Ogun. You know, and that's cause for concern. I hope our trace, I hope they are seeing, they are being proactive. I hope the civil defense, the DSS, and all, but above all, there should be something from the governor in terms of policy direction. The government should be able to, you know, to say, look, what are we going to do? We need to, and they must through their unions. Those unions, they say they give them ID card. ID card has no meaning. Give them also, they must wear something, a particular color. We have 4 geopolitical distinct. The ones that operate in Egba may use yellow. They must make sure that they insist on that. Those who operate in the Ijebu area, maybe you give them red. And it's dynamic. It has to be reviewed. Otherwise, we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder.
We want to thank you so much, Mr. Abeokuta, for your comprehensive analysis of the ban on Okada riding in Lagos State and the possible spillover effect it will have on Ogun State and indeed other states. Oyo, yeah, you mentioned Oyo. Before they get to Oyo, they will get to Ogun, you know, and they're likely to get to, you know, hometowns of the likes of Moji before they get to Abeokuta. We want to thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Close this interview for now. We'll come back shortly for another interview. Stay with us. It's New Dawn on the People's Study.